Hey guys, so I'm back for my episode 15 of my Knits and Crochet podcast. So we're just going to get into it. But I did finish some things, so we're gonna start with that first. The first thing I finished, I just bring up my notes on my phone while it's charging next to me. Is the okay. We finished my mini yarn cozy light, and this pattern is by Knitty Natty, Natalie Coons of Love and Stitches podcast. And my very, very first attempt at a very not so great granny square. Then my second attempt at a granny square, which still did not come out super well. And then this is finally my third attempt at a granny square, and I finally think I'm getting it, which is exciting. Because my idea for this is I'm gonna join all the little granny squares together, and I am gonna incorporate hand-dyed yarn from all 50 states and make a blanket out of it. So yeah, and this yarn that I'm using here is the August colorway exclusive for Love and Stitches members that I got, and this yarn is from a dyer out in Kansas, I believe. 316 Dye Studio is the name, and this was the colorway was of this was Endless Summer, and I'm just using the blue portion of this yarn. I might use a couple of the other colors, I don't know. I'm just gonna make the granny square a decent size, and then I'll just keep incorporating other granny squares to it and make a blanket eventually. And then I kind of, for the most part, I don't know where it is right now, I consider it pretty much done, but I did my second terracotta pot. I just need to do the rim on that. I figure out how to do the rim, but it's pretty much completely done, so I'm calling it done for this podcast, because I only have like one little more thing to do on it, and I just didn't have, I might have time later to finish that, but so we have that. And then I finished, for the make along that we're doing, I finished my 3 skein float tote, and I put little pockets on either side on the inside of it. But I did this for the make along that we were doing. So I finished that. So those are plus the this granny square will be done today too. So that is all the crocheted and knitted things that I finished. Like most of crocheted, but we're working on finishing up a bunch of the whips that I have standing, and so that includes like all the ones that I've mentioned before in previous podcasts. I'll just put them in the description down below. I do not need to go through all of them again, because you've probably heard me repeat it 20 times over. And as always, I'll have all the links to the patterns down below with the yarn that I'm using and stuff like that. And then just a quick update. As I said before, I'm going to the Fiber Festival in Maine. I'm going to the Maine Fiber Frolic at the end of May, and I'm hoping to get some hand-dyed yarn while I'm there from a couple different vendors that are from out of state. There's 2 New Hampshire vendors, and then there's a North Carolina Sunset Fiber Works is the North Carolina vendor, and then Nightingale Fibers and Ruby Rocks Yarn are both from the New Hampshire area. And then there's one Vermont vendor, but Mom already picked me up a skein of Vermont yarn while she was in Rhode Island. So I'm all set with the Vermont one. And then there's a needle punching vendor, Sunflower NEW Farms, or however you say it, that's from the Maine area, that's needle punching. So I'm interested to check them out to see if they have any needle punching kits, because I kind of really want to try that out for the first time. And then Sassy Black Yarns from Connecticut is going to be at the Fiber Festival. And then there's 2 Massachusetts Sheepshed and Wild Violet Fibers yarn shop vendors that are from Massachusetts, but I already have a Massachusetts yarn as well. Mom picked one of those up for me, and she picked up a Maine yarn while she was in Rhode Island. So the I just need a Rhode Island hand-dyed yarn, but I'm gonna try to pick up maybe Connecticut, North Carolina, and New Hampshire to add to the blanket project that I want to do. And then I'll just slowly incorporate as I get yarns from other states. Eventually I want it to include all 50 states in the US, so that I just think it would be a kind of a cool way to use the hand-dyed yarn. And I think I'm just gonna do like granny squares and then join them together and make one big blanket out of it. And then the so that's just kind of like a quick update on everything that's been going on. And then yeah, I'm really looking forward to going to the Fiber Festival with Mom, so I'm like excited to check out some different yarn shops and be able to have a fun project that I can do with those yarns. Like, they are all gonna have a kind of a cool purpose, because I'm gonna all incorporate them into one big project together is my plan. So I'm really looking forward to that, because I can just think it'll be cool to have kind of a blanket that I can that has all 50 states presented into a one big throw blanket. And yeah, so that is what's been going on over here. You know, as I said, I'm looking forward to going to the Fiber Festival with Mom, and just the you know, I don't know why I keep losing my train of thought, but anyways, I do. Anyways, you get what I'm trying to say. I'm just looking forward to the Fire Festival. I've probably talked about it 3 times in 3 different of my podcasts now, but that's okay. I think that just shows you how excited I am to go to check out some like hand-dyed yarn that I can use for projects, and you know, I just feel like it's a sorry, I need to figure out what I did. Oh, because I'm supposed to go into this. That's why. Yep. I see where, there we go. Yeah. So, here's my granny square. I think I'm gonna make them about this size, I think. So this one is pretty much done, but this is my successful granny square finally. As I said, the yarn I used on this one was the 316 Dye Studio Endless Summer, a colorway that we dyed. So I'm finally using some of my exclusive colorway from the membership. And I have more to use for another time for something else, but I figured it's cool to incorporate this into part of it into a blanket. Yeah, so I can successfully say I crocheted finally my first granny square. Yeah, and all I did was do a chain 4, and then I crocheted into the chain, into the circle. That would make a circle. You can also do a magic circle and then crochet into that, but for some reason that wasn't working for me, so I just did that. I used the tutorial that I used for this was Cherry. Oh gosh, who was it? It was the I used, gosh, why can't I not find it? Cherry Heart Podcast is who, I used her tutorial for the solid granny square. So, even though she uses, you know, UK terminology, so she uses, you know, the treble crochets, which I know in the US is double crochet for us, she just went a lot slower so you could actually get the granny square pattern down. Like, you could actually understand it and be able to follow her along. So, I really appreciate that. I'll link her if anybody's interested. I'll link her tutorial down below. She uses the granny squares, a 3-round granny square for her Battenberg blanket, which I do want to make the Battenberg blanket. But I just don't have the correct neutral yarns for that. So I'm just going to do a granny square blanket, I think, for this project that I am thinking about that I'm planning on doing. So yeah, that is it for this video. If you guys haven't commented, if you do, please do comment down below or on my Facebook page, and I hope everybody has an amazing day. And I'm sorry I do not have any haul for you, but I will next week in my episode 16. So be looking out for that. Bye.